Hi, I'm Elaine Froese, Farm Family Coach, coming to you from my farm in southwestern Manitoba. I'm happy to present to your audiences Finding Fairness in Farm Transition because when I speak as a farm family coach, I want my message to be transformational. The whole issue of fairness and more expensive land and not wanting to cut up the farm like a piece of pie is keeping your growers and producers awake at night. I'm a grower too, and I've found a different mindset shift for finding fairness in farm transition to help you manage expectations around inheritance and for your audiences to understand what steps that takes. Things like financial transparency, everybody knowing the viability of the farm and the true realistic financial picture. Also, attitudes towards money. Some people are spenders, some people are savers. Your intentions. I'm wearing this black ranch full-length mink coat that my mother intended to give me before she died, which she did, and she gave me a beautiful gift with a warm hand. No one else in my family wanted it, and we were able to discuss that at a farm transition meeting, which happened unfortunately, or fortunately, 6 weeks before she died unexpectedly. The other issue is, what do you do with the roles that you're going to see changing as you age out on the farm? And what are you going to do with the people who, no matter what you do, it's never enough? And I call those the rebels. FAIR. Help me help empower your audiences by bringing them a message that they truly want to hear, but they just don't know how to navigate. As a farm family coach, fairness is a key challenge in all of my coaching families. It's one of the first things that they tick off. So why don't you tick it off today in your event planning schedule and invite me to share a total mindset shift in agriculture to create more healing stories around giving gifts with a warm hand and empowering people to talk about their expectations about inheritance. Elaine Froese, Farm Family Coach, really happy to join you virtually or however I can in the near future to help figure this out. Let's do it together. Farming's in-law factor is a very interesting topic, how to increase harmony on your farm and decrease the conflict. I wrote about it many years ago in our book, Farming's In-Law Factor, and you'll see the brown egg. In 2016, my most popular blog was How to Prevent Divorce on the Farm. And I know this from experience because all around me I have divorce touching my farm in 4 different places. But that's not what I'm here to talk about. What I'm here to talk about is empowering your audience to find ways to manage expectations. Just behind me is my garden, which I share with my daughter-in-law who lives just beyond those large trees. She built a new house with our son, the successor, a few years ago, and I didn't have to move, but I have to learn also how to navigate the many roles and how those roles change as we all age in place on our farms. Farming's In-Law Factor will help your audience understand that conflict is a business risk management strategy. It will also help families the things that they need to do to create a safe place so that everybody on the farm, whether they're a son-in-law, mother-in-law, father-in-law, or daughter-in-law, has a safe place to have their voice heard. They don't want to be the only brown egg and feel like they don't fit in. So I encourage you to be courageous as an event planner and consider booking Farming's In-Law Factor to discuss ways to increase harmony and decrease family conflict on the farm or in agribusiness. It's a way for you to have a map of understanding of how to talk about tough issues and the things that are a reasonable expectation towards preventing divorce on the farm, which is a huge fear factor for many families and something often unspoken. I'd like to talk to you about living intentionally, embracing change with the cycle of renewal. As a Hudson Institute coach back in 2003, where I was certified, I learned a very helpful map for helping women and men work out that polarity of work and play in their lives and the many roles that we have. Behind me is the only Scotch pine tree on our farm. It was planted in 1981, the year Wes and I got married, by my mother-in-law while we were away on our honeymoon. I had been given the tree as a gift to celebrate the International Peace Garden's 50th anniversary. And trees are a great metaphor for living intentionally. There is no garden without a gardener, and trees don't grow unless they're planted intentionally. And on our farm are many trees to recognize celebrations like my mother's life and the birth of our children, and it's very special as we grow with them to see how they give us great joy and pleasure. So join me for living intentionally. Life is not a straight line. It's more like a slinky, and it has its ups and downs, and the cycle of renewal will help you figure out how to be resilient and bounce back, whether you're in go for it, the doldrums, or you need to spend some time in inner healing with cocooning, or if you're getting ready for something new. The most fantastic audience experience I had was when an old-time rancher said, "Oh, Elaine, now I finally understand why my wife is so unhappy." And I said, "Charlie, what's up?" He said, "I'm in go for it. I'm bouncing along and having fun with my cattle and want to do that for many more years, but my wife is definitely stuck and in the doldrums." And I helped show him what he needed to let go of, what he needed to take on, and what he needed to move on in order to have a mini transition for both of the couple to get back to a place where living intentionally was really going to work for them. So join me and let's embrace the cycle of renewal. Many of you don't know how to drive this huge semi behind me, and many of us in farm families tend to get stuck not even getting into first gear, which I call the neutral zone. For those of you familiar with stick shifts, you know that staying in neutral is not a happy place, especially when you're trying to get somewhere. That's my approach to the method that I coined, discuss the undiscussable. There's a bull in the middle of every farm family of your audience. Many things that need to be talked about that the family is avoiding. And in order to decrease stress and decrease anxiety and overwhelm, you need to grab the bull by the horns and start talking about tough issues. It's not hard, but it does take intentionality. And I'm here to provide your audience with tools like coming from curiosity, spending time to perk and ponder and process, identifying your communication style, understanding why age is important in defining the tasks and things that need to be talked about. I'm all in favor of assumption-free living, and this Discuss the Undiscussable approach, it will set and transform families free and help them get that transition truck moving. So join me, Elaine Froese, for Discuss the Undiscussable with a proven approach that I've been using for over 17 years to help farm families deal with all the bull in the middle of the room that they're not talking about. Let's talk, let's act, and let's get this truck moving and out of first gear. See you soon.